Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third September installment of the Coaching Seat TV with Toyinda LaShea. I am Toyinda LaShea. We're here because we're all about sitting in our seat of authority so that kingdom citizens can be infused with the power to dominate confidence, unleash potential, and leave a legacy. Now, this is accomplished through extracting distractions, limiting beliefs, and interferences. I'm so excited to be here in this installment. We're back in the studio with Coach Evonne Young. She's a mental health professional, the founder of Creative Life Journeys LLC. She's the moderator of the Facebook group Mindful Moments, and she's a podcaster, and she has a YouTube channel coming on board called Coach Vonne's Coaching Couch. Coach Vonne, welcome back into the studio.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to talk about this mindfulness. When I first met you, when you were entering into the coaching program, you talked about, I think you had just completed a mindfulness training or certification or facilitation program. What's the goal of being mindful? I know that your Facebook group is all about being mindful and empowering women. Tell me a little bit about that.
Certainly. When I came into Champion Influence, it was all tangled in there at the end. I was like that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes.
I was becoming the coach, and then that Monday I was finishing up my MBSR training, which is mindfulness-based stress reduction, and this is out of the University of Massachusetts. John Kabat-Zinn is the founder.
Okay.
And I'm trained in dialectical behavior therapy, which also has a component of mindfulness to it.
Tell me really quickly, what is dialectical behavior therapy? Tell me a little bit about that.
What dialectical behavior therapy is, it works with individuals who have borderline personality disorder.
Wow.
Yes. And there's that's just one, the mindfulness is just one component. You have emotional regulation. You also have this called the distress tolerance.
My goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yes, I had to go through a 3-day training. They didn't teach me this in grad school. This is something because I'm a CBT, which is a cognitive behavior therapist.
Yes.
But I realized when working with this population of people, CBT just wasn't cutting it.
Yeah.
So I went to my supervisor, went to my boss, was like, look, I gotta have this training. We need this training for me to better serve, because I'm all about really getting the best for the people that I serve.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you believe, or how could you work with faith-based organizations in this space of CBT or the dialectical therapy? How can you work with faith-based organizations in that?
Very carefully. Very carefully. And I do work with faith-based organizations.
Okay.
I've provided more grief therapy.
Okay.
But it's still along the same tenets. First of all, have to do some really good education, because there's some walls and beliefs and barriers that have to be broken down.
You know we're in ministry, absolutely.
And I know you being a prophet, both of us being women of faith, but education, you have to educate people to understand.
That's good.
And I'm going to say this because I stand on this and I tell people this. Prayer warriors are very good in their place.
Absolutely.
Very good in their place. But there's nothing wrong with going to a therapist.
Nothing wrong
I happen to be one of those total packages where I'm a prayer warrior and a therapist.
So let's pause.
Okay.
We just want to make it plain that Coach Evonne Young, who is a mental health professional and a woman of God, she said that being a prayer warrior, so prayer and counseling and therapy can go hand in hand, because at the end of the day, we want to be effective kingdom citizens. We want to be the best version of ourselves. And so if we partner, let the Holy Spirit partner with this natural therapy, we're winning. We're creating winning effects.
That's it.
Talk to me about the empowerment that you're doing with the women in the group on Facebook.
Okay. Mindfulness Moments came about in January. And I met an individual from overseas, over in Singapore. She herself was a coach.
Okay.
And she got me into the 21-day challenge with Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey. They were doing the 21 days of abundance, where you're learning how to be grateful, how to do the gratitude. You're being mindful with the meditation, grounding, becoming centered. So one of the projects was we had to create our own group.
Wow.
I was nervous.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I have never. Now, keep in mind, I do know how to do groups.
Yes.
I do know how to facilitate because I have to do them as a mental health professional. But to this magnitude, it was like, you know what, Lord? I mean, no.
Stretch me, oh God.
Exactly. But I'm going to do this.
I love it.
I'm going to do this.
I love it.
And I did it.
Yes.
So every day for 21 days, I had to put in some type of content, that they practice, because I myself was practicing. And so as we got to that 21 days, it was like, wow, what can I do with this group?
Yeah.
I just can't, I can't leave it here. So that's when I had finished with the coaching, finished with the my MBSR training. I said, you know what? Call it mindful moments.
I love it.
And so from about maybe March up until recently, because I just changed the name probably about a month or so ago, that's when I added the mindfulness empowerment for women.
Wow. Wow.
Because you got to be mindful. And mindfulness is creating that awareness in the here and the now.
Right.
It's based on not being judgmental.
Yes.
Having, knowing, okay, it's okay to feel this way. And I've learned that it's okay not to be okay. Because when one of my sessions there, I talked about, being your feelings. Feelings are fluid. And scientific evidence proves that you're only for 90 seconds they pass.
Wow.
They pass.
That's huge.
So, but you have to acknowledge them. You have to know it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. Right. And it's like I teach my children in therapy. It's what you do with it.
That's right.
That's the aggression, the behavior.
That's right. I love it. What are some of the concerns that women have? What are some of the concerns that you're addressing in terms of this mindfulness and the empowerment space?
Right now, for the month of August, we're working on self-care. And the Lord is kind of leading me to deal and have monthly themes. Like I'm already into September.
Yes.
But let me get back to August. Right now, we're working on self-care. And self-care includes, but not just limited, going to the spa, getting your nails done, getting your eyebrows done, taking walks. It's really involved your total emotional regulation.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
Self-care comes with not being so hard on yourself.
Absolutely. I saw a post that you made about being kind. I think you did a whole theme on being kind to ourselves. And I feel as though whenever I start to doubt what the Lord has allowed me to do, I'm not being kind to myself. You understand? It's that negative thinking that I had as if, again, as if I'm a fraud in this space. And it's like, no, God put these abilities in you. He put the capabilities in you, Toyinda. This is coming into agreement with what God is saying about you. And that's how I shift my negative thoughts. Yes, I add scripture in, right? But I also have to shift my thoughts by even just speaking affirmations and saying, no, you do belong here. This is your work. This is your intellectual property. And so that's being kind to myself. What other types of themes are you working with women on?
Other types of themes that I'm working with them is just really, I have a young woman, and if you don't mind, I use this, no names mentioned. I have an individual in my group, and she wants to do more than what she's doing. The Lord has really inspired her to do these really beautiful Christian writings.
Wow.
But she was afraid of what people would say. She was afraid because she wasn't popular.
Yes.
She was afraid. So I began to work with her self-esteem.
That's good. That's good.
Self-acceptance. I'll tackle issues like this, becoming empowered.
Wow.
Hearing that voice within. Because when Mrs. Doubt, Mrs. Naysayer comes in, you got to recognize it. It's gonna pass.
Right.
It's gonna pass. You've got to overcome that with positive self-talk. So that's really what I'm focusing a lot with these young women on, is empowerment.
Empowerment.
Finding that positive voice.
Absolutely. And it sounds like you're also tapping into self-confidence, especially as you move with the phenomena of the imposter syndrome. And so I can't wait until we discuss that. I have another question. Where did you get the strength to assist women with their confidence?
By me not having confidence in my own self.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
And I realized that if I didn't want to live there, I knew no other woman wanted to live there.
That's good.
You just have to vacate that house.
Absolutely.
And get that new house and, move forward and realize I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me.
Absolutely. See, because confidence is about taking action. It's about moving forward. It's about implementing. And next week, we are going to talk about confidence and the imposter syndrome. I am so grateful that you joined me here on the Coaching Seat TV with Toyinda LaShea. I am Toyinda LaShea. And if you are finding value inside of these broadcasts, this TV show, I want you to help me to continue the show. You can help me by sowing a seed to Cash App, $Toyinda Smith, or my PayPal account, which is paypal.me/toyconsults. We will see you next week. Hello, everybody. I am Toyinda Smith, the author of The Handbook to Dominate Your Confidence Using 4 Practical Steps. This book is all about taking action. If you struggle with your confidence in terms of having a level of fear, maybe not having the faith that you need in order to get the job done, this book is going to help you to master winning with certainty. I talk about 4 V's. The first V is vantage. That second V is your voice. That third V is your visibility. And the fourth V is vigor. If you want to dominate your confidence, I want you to click the link below. Welcome to the Coaching Seat TV with Toyinda LaShea, where we're all about sitting in our seat of authority so that the kingdom community can be infused with the power to dominate confidence, unleash potential, and leave a legacy. This is accomplished through extracting limiting beliefs, distractions, and interferences. I am so excited for the opportunity to be on Dominion TV with the powerful Dr. Dutton and Pastor Lynette Dutton. Make sure you download the app for Dominion TV, as well as catch this broadcast every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. I want you to share it with your community, your clients, and your